Hello and welcome to On Fire here on Daily Mirror. I'm Easwaran Rutnam. The travel industry in Sri Lanka is suffering from a double blow as a result of the Easter Sunday attacks in 2019 and the COVID pandemic which hit us last year. Joining me on the program today is the area general manager of the Hilton Hotel and the general manager of the Hilton in Colombo, Manesh Fernando. Manesh, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Easwaran. Thank you. Delighted to be here.
So Manesh, the hotel industry plays a big role in the leisure industry. And with the pandemic, as I said, it has taken a bit of a hit. How are things looking right now?
Things are looking much more better than what it was even 2 months ago. And I think when I talk to my colleagues around the country, people are feeling a lot of hope and positivity, and they can see the numbers improving.
But I guess the biggest challenge is without a doubt adapting to the new normal. Do you see the industry managing to make those sort of changes that is required?
I think we have, and that's one reason why we are getting customers coming from around the world, right, who are trusting our systems and all the systems put in place by the Sri Lankan tourism authorities in terms of protocols. And we are, I think, really thoughtful, and we care about people, be it the guest, be it the staff, and we are doing our part, and we are adapting ourselves as things happen. We are learning forward.
You mentioned you care about people. I guess the other question is, are the people ready to adapt to these kind of changes, the new normal? We see a lot of hand sanitizing taking place, temperature checking, social distancing. When someone visits a hotel, are they ready for that sort of change?
Well, we are creatures of habit and creatures of need. When the need comes, we adapt. And if you look last year, this time we had a big problem even to get people to wear masks, right? There'll be team members going with a mask in the neck, but no more, right? So somehow we learn and we move forward because we know there is no other choice. It makes scientific sense to do what we're doing, and that's the way forward. And we will adapt, and our people are quick to adapt, and especially when there's a scare, we adapt much more faster, right? You know it in history.
Sri Lanka had set some huge tourism targets before COVID hit us. How long do you think it will take for the hotel industry to recover, for the tourism industry as a whole as well to recover?
Easwaran, so we had double blows, like you said, when you started off. We had the Easter bomb issue, plus we had the pandemic, which is for the whole world, right? So we've also learned a lot of things. All of us, I think, in industry have learned a lot about how to operate in a new environment, and how to make sure we do what we do without affecting quality and doing it more efficiently. So I'm not sure about all the numbers, how much we will achieve, but even what has been achieved today is fantastic. And I believe even if we achieve, let's say 50% of pre-pandemic levels, take my hotel example, we're going to do well still because of all the improvements we've done in terms of learning how to operate in this new environment.
Let's talk about your hotel, the Hilton Hotel. What plans does the hotel have in the near future?
So our hotel, in the midst of the pandemic, we took it as an opportunity to upgrade our product. We've replaced all our elevators. So replacing elevators in a running hotel is pretty tough. So occupancy was low, so we took the opportunity. Our owners invested a lot of money on those. We invested on the plant, which no one can see, to make the operation much more efficient. We've also started off the much needed room renovation project, and we are currently in the process of coming off with the first set of brand new rooms, which will come in about another maybe 3 to 4 months time. So we've really used this time to self-improve and focus on the product in terms of improving the product. Plus, most importantly, looking after our people, the staff who work here, in taking good care of them and making sure that they can still carry on with their lives with the difficult situation, and we've done that. And we've also managed to take care of our very valued guests in these most difficult times, be it little things like doing food deliveries or their little birthday parties at home, making it happen even in these difficult times.
Sri Lanka is best known for its beaches, and then we of course have city life as well. And when Sri Lanka is marketed outside, we market our resorts, and then we also market the city. The Hilton has its own hotels based in Veeravilla and Yala, and then of course you have the City Hotel in Colombo. Where is your biggest market?
The Hilton Colombo?
The Hilton Colombo.
Obviously, if you took Hilton in Sri Lanka, it's going to be leisure because we've got all those new hotels opening as well. But we are predominantly a corporate hotel. But I believe with the new infrastructure being built in the country in terms of the brand new airport, the flyovers connecting the airport road into the port city, the new convention centers which are supposed to come, plus all the investment which has been done already in the city of Colombo, we will be a very, very attractive place to visit. And meetings and incentives is going to be a big part for the future.
Hilton as a group is this huge company. What plans does Hilton have for Sri Lanka overall in the near future or in the years ahead?
We have a plan. We have our own plan for Sri Lanka, which I couldn't talk to you about here. But there are so many dimensions to Sri Lanka, from the ancient cities, which we are not still at. There is the hill country, and there are places which no one has really explored. There are much more places. We only talk about Sigiriya, but there are places close to Sigiriya even which we've not explored much, which people don't know about. There are so many places around Sri Lanka, and it's an interesting destination, right? With the highway networks, the traveling time is much more less, so you could do more actually, and we can open up new destinations. So leisure is going to be a big part with the varied places we can explore in a small area.
So when we look at the tourism industry, there are a lot of concerns being raised about opening our borders once again. Some be it politicians or locals are not very happy about tourists coming back to the country. They feel that this would bring back COVID again, and this would affect locals, and it will affect the industry again as well. Do you think that is a good way? I mean, closing the borders, is that the solution?
Interesting question. Well, we did have the borders closed, and then we did have a explosion, right, in the numbers, because we ourselves within the country weren't adhering to the protocols. So be it with the tourist or be it with the local, if you adhere to the protocols, if you adhere to the science, then I think we are okay. That's the way I think about it. Social distancing, wearing your mask, and sanitizing yourself, maintaining hygiene, and the basic principles, right? And you talked about, when you started off the interview, about how we are adapting, right? So that's the way to adapt. If not, we'll have to seclude ourselves from, first close the country, and then close the businesses, and then close the schools, and close everything, and live like hermits. I don't think that's going to be practical, right? So we need to now start. We have the vaccines, we have the new Merck and all these pills which are coming out, and antiretrovirals, I think, right? So we have the weapons to battle. Now we need to know how to play it smart and get out of this whole lockdown mentality to going to work with COVID.
Being a hotelier, do you think that, especially in Colombo, that we have too many hotels? This is something that people talk about as well, that, we have been, we did expect COVID. We were anticipating huge tourist arrivals, and now suddenly very few tourists are coming in. But we have lots of hotels in the city, especially. Are we overdoing it?
So 90% of it is private enterprise, right? Private capital. So I guess those investors saw a need for it, and they've been no one has given them a special incentive to go and build those. So they've seen the opportunity and they've built those. Of course, you will have sudden downturns, as in anywhere in the world. And I believe with the potential this country has, we will be able to fill them up. But they'll have to wait it out until the opportunities improve or opportunities open up again.
There's been a lot said about the Hilton Hotel, the management who is behind it. What is the government involvement in this hotel?
Interesting question. So we have 3 operating Hiltons, and then we have 2 more which are being built. Okay, so 3 of them is owned by two is owned by one family, then 1 by another family, and 1 by another family. And this is the only one which is owned by the government of Sri Lanka, which means it's owned by the family of 22 million of us, right? So it's owned by all of us, right? So it's an interesting example of public-private partnership, because we are a Fortune 500 company and we manage this hotel for the government of Sri Lanka. And that happened by default because there was some issue with the previous owner, the private owner, and the government took over the shares. So we all adhere to the rules of engagement on our management agreement, and things are pretty smooth.
I know the government is looking for new investors for the Hilton as well. Do you see the Hilton growing as a result of this, with new investors likely coming in later on under the PPP model? The Hilton, expanding further, strengthening its position in Colombo?
I think there's lots of opportunity, especially with the port city coming up and all the infrastructure, like I said, about the airport and all the elevated highways, and lots of opportunity. And we've got space for 1 more tower, which is built. The foundations are all done, which was done when the people built this hotel. Then we've got 2.5 acres on the lakefront, which no one really realizes, which can be used anytime. So lots of potential for adding more value into the city.
And can a hotel which has public involvement or which has state involvement compete with some of the big, the other names that are coming in, that are already in as well?
Sometimes maybe we've been slower off the marks to get our hotel refurbished because of all the government procedures we have to adhere to. But mind you, it's getting done now, and we've been competing with everyone in this town very successfully, and there is no problem.
All right, Manesh, we will leave it at that. Thank you for joining us on the program. And that's all the time we have for you on Fire this week. Till next time, stay safe.
Thank you, Easwaran. Thank you very much.